The Tamaqua Area Community Partnership is a nonprofit charitable organization that was expressly created to improve the quality of life in the Tamaqua area, and to do so by being a conduit and a catalyst and a place for ideas and energy to go to accomplish improvements that will make a real difference in the lives of the people who live here. We're a very flexible organization that has a lot of people who get involved, and then they get less involved, and then new people get involved. And so it's a really fun organization for people to really make a dramatic impact in their community by partnering with people across different community development spectrums. For most of our organization's existence, we didn't focus on telling the story of what we were doing. We were very busy doing things, making the improvements, whether it's in a neighborhood or in the downtown or at a recreation facility. We were very busy making those improvements, and we didn't spend a lot of time talking about how we were doing it, what we were doing.
Some time ago, Micah Gursky and I were having a conversation about ways to communicate and get your message out. And because video on the web has become more and more common, more people have fast internet connections and so forth, we came to the conclusion that presenting the community partnership story as video on the web could be particularly compelling.
On the Tamaqua Area Community Partnership's new website, the stories that are told are the stories of the individual projects and improvements that we've worked so hard for over many years. And each story, each vignette, is told in the voice and with the face of a person who is intimately involved with making this project happen. And it's a wonderful tribute and an explanation of what was done and why it was done and who did it, with lots of pictures and videos so that people can see what was done and hear in firsthand voice of the people who made it happen.
It's the people of the community speaking directly to an observer in the room, if you will, and telling their story without any need for any intermediaries. And I think that's important because we want to see that kind of, let's call it a direct connection with people who may be viewing the video.
We decided which stories needed to be told by looking at the list of improvements that we've made over the last more than decade now, and the people who've been involved. And we wanted to identify improvements that many people are familiar with, like Depot Square Park, or the Streetscape project, or the Southward Playground improvement. These are things that people see and they use and they love and they enjoy and they appreciate, but they may not know the story behind it. They may not know what went into it or who was instrumental in helping make it happen, whether it's the Community College Student Center or the Carriage Street Stairs. These are things that people may see and like, but they haven't heard the story. They weren't involved, so they might not understand all the detail and work that went into it. So we chose the stories by looking at what improvements we made, who made them, and which ones were most impactful. And there's lots of stories that we haven't told yet and we would like to tell, but the stories that we wanted to tell first were the ones that were most impactful, most visible, and the ones that we thought people would be curious about and want to hear. And also stories that we wanted to feature somebody who made a big difference in the community, maybe an unsung hero, maybe a member of a fire company who was instrumental in making an improvement, and wanted them to help tell the story and get some credit for the good work that they've done. And really, when you're talking about improving the quality of life, it's not something that you're ever going to close the book and say, we're done, there's nothing left to do. Communities are very organic, they're very diverse. There's a lot of different things happening in communities. People's lives are impacted by where they live, the housing that they live in, the neighborhood that they live in, the recreational facilities and opportunities that they have, the community spirit, certainly the job opportunities that they have. And it's a community's challenge to constantly try to make improvements in those areas because it makes the life better for the people who live here. And what's nice about the Tamaqua Area Community Partnership is the people who are making these improvements are the people who live here. And so they not only get to impact their neighbors and their friends, but it also makes the community better for all of us who still choose Tamaqua as their home.
You know, it was just an incredible experience for me and for everyone on the crew at VideoWorks to have the opportunity to work with so many people in the community. Not only in our studio setting where the interviews were going on, but even as we were out on location capturing B-roll that would pictorially represent what they were saying. They were just incredible, just wonderful people, hardworking folks who were trying to do their level best to make their community a better place to live.
Viewers can suggest stories for the Tamaqua Area Community Partnership website. I would encourage them to use the website as the vehicle to suggest stories or even add to stories. This is by no means a website that claims to be the be-all and end-all of these stories. And we actually encourage people to watch the webisodes and the videos on the website, comment on them, post them to their Facebook pages and release them in other ways, talk about them, exchange ideas, recommend new ideas for new videos and improvements that we may not have, that may need to be highlighted that we didn't highlight yet. And so I would encourage people to interact with the website. Don't just watch the video as a static observer. Start to participate, comment, good, bad, indifferent. Say something about what you're seeing. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it, but tell us, talk to us about it, because this isn't something that works unless people are engaged. And so I would encourage people to use the website as a way to not only recommend additional stories that need to be told, but perhaps additional improvements that need to be made. And so I would encourage people to be interactive and engaged.